first of all, I mean, yes, Nehru is always, presented as a guy who was happy to give away land, which is which is not a correct impression at all. Like, okay, Nehru was taken for a ride by the Chinese. It had its complex reasons, and he gave them benefit of doubt. Okay, he got cheated. That's a different matter. He had those notions of grand Asian unity. That was a failed project for sure. But on the matter of Pakistan, Nehru was a hawk on so many occasions. And that needs to be presented more clearly. I mean, we all know that he wanted Kashmir for sure. But this part, I was pretty surprised when I came across this letter. Because I do not know why people who were in power earlier did not want letters like these to be printed. But S. Gopal, while editing the selected volumes of Nehru, he presented that letter, but he took out the more controversial bits, which I want to read, because it also shows that Nehru could be hawk. Like, he was not a sly person, but he kind of shrewdly he had assessed that, someday East Pakistan or let's say East Bengal, given their cultural differences with the Western wing, it would come back to us. And which is why, when there was a refugee crisis, every time there would be a refugee crisis in the early years, the right wing, the conservatives would attack his Pakistan policy, and Nehru would tell them कि तुम लोग थोड़ा ठंड रखो. Like, because he had a bird's eye view, he had a larger plan. Because he probably could see, he was perhaps among the few to see that, if we play our cards smartly, we could someday get back East Bengal. So, and this is a letter he wrote to West Bengal Chief Minister Bidhan in March 48, and he would repeat the gist of this letter on so many occasions for the first few years. Later, there was the refugee crisis got severe, and he came under a lot of pressure, and so he kind of he did away with this thesis. But in the early years, yes. So okay, so let me read a few lines from it. Nehru writes that it seems to me that the only clear policy that we can have is to think in terms of East Bengal joining West Bengal. Obviously, this can only happen if the people of East Bengal so desire. Okay? There can be no compulsion in the matter, but both geography and a common language and culture seem to make it inevitable for East and West Bengal to hang together. Okay? East Bengal will continue to feel neglected and bypassed so long the center of gravity of Pakistan is in Western Pakistan. That center of gravity is born to remain in the West. This will lead East Pakistan drifting further and further away. If the ultimate aim is for East Pakistan to join West Bengal and the Indian Union, we should not encourage any tendencies or activities which come in the way of this development. And the last line, this line is very crucial. Natural forces are working in favor of this change, and the only real obstruction to it can come through our own mistakes or over jealousness. It is for this reason that it is wrong to encourage any large-scale migration from East Bengal to the West. So those were his reasons. He wanted people to think with a calm.
Just wait a while. You are going to get this, so let's just wait for some time.
Yes,